of Kaduna metropolis and environs are free to move around for some hours as the state government relaxes curfew. INEC says it is putting finishing touches for smooth 2019 elections. Plus, wife of the president restates commitment in advocacy to enhance the lives of women, youth and children in the country. Well, these are some of our top stories on NTA Panorama this Monday. I am Ogwa Vivian Unyedibia. Stay tuned. The Kaduna state government has relaxed the curfew in Kaduna metropolis and environs. A statement by the senior special assistant to the governor on media and publicity, Samuel Arunwa, says residents are now free to move around from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Markets and banks are expected to reopen while nighttime curfew remains. Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai says anyone found involved in the recent disturbances in the state will be prosecuted. And troops of Army Headquarters garrison on official duty escorting ammunition from Abuja to Kaduna State were reported to have been attacked by some members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria sect at Zuba Bridge in the Federal Capital Territory. A statement by the Commander Army Headquarters Garrison, Major General James Miam, indicates that the sect members who were supposedly in a procession mounted an illegal roadblock denying motorists free passage. They attacked troops with dangerous items on Saturday, the 27th of October 2018, and attempted to overrun the escorts to cut away the ammunition and missiles the troops were escorting, which led to opening of fire by the troops to extricate themselves. Meanwhile, normalcy has been restored in the general area, and members of the public, especially those plying the Abuja-Zuba road, are requested to go about their normal activities with assurance from the Nigerian Army that no individual or persons would be allowed to disturb public peace. And still on security issues, the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has provided air support for ground forces to repel Boko Haram terrorists at Gashigar in Borno State. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, indicates that the operation was carried out in the early hours of 28 October 2018, following a report from troops under attack at Gashigar. Well, accordingly, the Nigerian Air Force Intelligence Surveillance and Reconnaissance Platform, accompanied by a pair of Mi-35 helicopter gunships, were detailed to the location and were able to identify the location of the Boko Haram terrorists in 13 gun trucks. The combined fire force of the Air Task Force and ground troops successfully overpowered and neutralized the terrorists. The Nigerian Air Force, working in synergy with ground forces, says it will continue to sustain the tempo of operations with a view to destroying all remnants of the terrorists on the fringes of Lake Chad and other parts of northern Borno. And following graduation of 77 regular recruit intake of the Nigerian Army, 3,808 soldiers have been injected to the fighting force. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa, who was at the headquarters Nigerian Army Depot Zaria venue of the event, has details.
This prototype military operational vehicle was designed and produced by recruits of the Nigerian Army Depot Zaria. The dismantling and assembling of the vehicle is part of activities marking the graduation of the 2018 recruits at the depot. For the past 6 months, these recruits have been subjected to a series of drills in weapon handling, tactical attack, withdrawal, counter-insurgency operation, and vocational training. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, the reviewing officer of the exercise, noted that the robust combat efficiency across the entire corps and formations is yielding positive results, as evident in the resilient fighting spirit exhibited by troops in the Northeast.
I hereby state unequivocally that Depot Nigerian Army has improved on every aspect of realistic, result-oriented and mission command training.
Out of the 3,880 graduates, 188 are females. The Army Chief later inaugurated a hostel donated by the Niger State government, transit accommodation for senior non-commissioned officers, and an automated shooting range.
Security is everyone's responsibility now, especially in the rural areas where you have migration of people from other parts of the country. It is necessary to identify who, where he's coming from, and for what purpose.
The depot Nigerian Army, established in 1924, is one among the major military pioneer training institutions in Nigeria. From Zaria in Kaduna State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And to other news now, the critical role of the creative industry in the shaping of a better society has again been emphasized by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo as he unveiled 5 books authored by Funmilayo Braithwaite. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
It is the second time Vice President Yemi Osinbajo would be addressing experts in the creative industry in less than a week, emphasizing the need for Nigerians to protect the positive values the people of the country are known for. The 5 books the Vice President unveils here addressed so many questions which have to do with the society's value system and how the values seem to have collapsed over the years.
Because society is guided by those who are able to reflect, those who are able to think, those who are able to sit down, and try and answer the difficult questions for us. I believe that when we read these books, a lot of the questions, at least we'll find resolution for many of the questions that are raised in our lives, especially also in the lives of our children. And hopefully we'll be able to find some of the answers to the questions raised in our political lives as well.
The author Funmilayo Braithwaite came on the stage as an author some 25 years ago with one of the books, Golden Rules, which enlightens children about taking security measures to ensure that they are protected from harm. Another, which is a past winner of Anna Prize for Literature, is Echoes of Yesteryears. It centers on the theme of ruthlessness, greed, treachery, vengeance, and extreme obsession. She speaks on her inspiration.
It's funny when we go out of the country, when I see a Nigerian, the first thing that comes to my mind is that this is a Nigerian. I won't ask if you're Hausa, if you're Igbo, and if you're Yoruba. That was the way it was 20 years ago, even in Nigeria. So we have to go back to those days of love, to those days of just saying, he's my brother because he's a Nigerian, not because he's a Muslim, not because he's a Christian, not because he's a Yoruba, Igbo. Or let us just let this love flow naturally. Let us stop discriminating. If we don't discriminate, then we'll have a better Nigeria.
Other books include The Path of Faith, which is guidance and counseling book aimed at getting youths more informed as they make career decisions. Politic Crisis and Bond of Destiny are the other 2. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, says she will not relent in her advocacy in enhancing the lives of women, youth and children in Nigeria. This was at a dinner and award presentation to mark the Future Assured 3 years anniversary of humanitarian services. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir tells us more.
Advocacy towards securing brighter future for the Nigerian women, youth and children is the cardinal objective of Future Assured program established 3 years ago by the wife of the president, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. Areas in focus comprise the improvement of health, education, economic empowerment and the general well-being of women and children in Nigeria.
3 years ago, a child was born and this child was named Future Assured. And it is through this child that Her Excellency was able to deliver this wide range of interventions.
The Future Assured program giving service to humanity, helping the helpless, voicing out for the voiceless.
Within the 3 years under review, Future Assured program touches thousands of lives of women, youth and children cutting across the length and breadth of Nigeria, especially in free medical treatment, infrastructural development of health facilities, sponsorship of surgical operations, particularly the treatment of indigent patients and many more other health interventions, as well as capacity building of women and youth, and the provision of entrepreneurial skills, among other gestures.
In the last 3 years, some of the key initiatives include the Popular Get Involved, which generated over 200 million worth of goods for the improvement of the nutritional status of malnourished children across the country, especially those that are in Borno in the IDPs. Issues of nutrition have been in development discourse for long. Therefore, we had to contribute to the improvement of nutritional standards among pregnant and lactated mothers. Supplying supplements to over 250,000, while other 100 tons of these supplements were distributed to malnourished children. Boreholes and tube wells were constructed in communities with water problems in the IDP camps.
These humanitarian services, according to the wife of the president, was possible due to the strong collaboration with various stakeholders from within and outside the country, and therefore the celebration of 30 years anniversary of Future Assured is for all.
In order to key into government policy of one health center in every ward, we have commenced the construction of maternity complex, with one launched in Daura and another nearing completion in Yola. We intend to build such complexes in every political zones in Nigeria.
Equally, Future Assured has recognized excellent performances of some individuals for their contribution to particularly the development of women and children, and by extension the larger society, especially in the field of education, health, security, media, and the fight against abuse.
This is teamwork, and it also shows the potentials that abound in this great country.
That is the footstep we are following, to serve humanity, to render selfless services. It gives us a sense of belonging, and it also encourages us to do more.
While the Future Assured magazine was unveiled for public consumption, the event was climaxed with the cutting of the 3rd anniversary cake officiated by the former Deputy Governor of Plateau State, Pauline Talin. From the State House, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, this is Panorama on the network service of the NTA. More news after these messages. It's good to know you're still there. Panorama continues now. The Governor General of Canada is in Nigeria on a 3-day visit. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the Governor General, who arrived Abuja on Sunday, was given a befitting reception in the State House some minutes ago. Well, after the initial exchange of pleasantries, President Muhammadu Buhari retreated for talks behind closed doors on issues of common interest between Nigeria and Canada. Well, talks are now ongoing, after which the Governor General is expected to address the media. Do stay tuned for more on that. The Minister of State for Mines and Steel Development, Abubakar Bawa Buhari, and the Governor of Taraba State, Darius Dixon Ishaku, are appealing to relevant authorities to ensure the full implementation of the Abuja Master Plan to avoid environmental challenges and over-congestion. They made the appeal after their investiture as fellows of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners in Abuja.
For example, like in Abuja, which I handled the phase 3, there are a lot of areas. I've planned for 4 lakes in Abuja in addition to Jabi Lake, which has not been implemented up to date. And I'm feeling so bad about that, because without you implementing these 4 lakes in Abuja, sooner or later you will deplete the water in Usman Dam, which supplies the drinkable water to Abuja town itself. And those 4 lakes are there to be as a backup to Usman Dam?
Well, Abuja has become a town planner's nightmare, and we are trying our best to ensure that we adhere strictly to the master plan. A lot has happened, political decisions that have affected the execution of the master plan. Right now, you can see that a lot is being done in Abuja, and a lot of the mistakes that have been made have been corrected. And the town planners have been playing a great role in ensuring that those encroachments and abuse master plans are addressed.
And to political matters now. Before the end of the first week of December 2018, all will be set for the smooth conduct of the 2019 general elections. INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu gave the assurance in Abuja. Mie Ogidi reports.
Many were worried on the possibility of INEC meeting up with the preparations for the conduct of the 2019 general elections, when there was a continuous delay for the passage of the INEC budget by the National Assembly. These fears were, however, laid to rest on the 10th of October 2018, when the National Assembly finally approved the budget. This approval was made just about 4 months to the elections, but INEC is optimistic it's still on a good footing.
Yes, we had some discussions with the Ministry of Finance on the disbursement of funds for the elections, and we are confident that we are not going to suffer any encumbrances in that respect. So we have engaged consistent with the provisions of the Public Procurement Act, and we have awarded those contracts that we needed to award for procurement that we needed to make before the elections.
As required by Section 20 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, the voters' register will be displayed at all the polling units nationwide from 6th and 12th of November 2018. What are the expected gains of this exercise?
It is also an opportunity to correct misspellings of personal details such as names, age, and gender.
More than 84 million voters are expected to participate in the 2019 general elections. Mie Ogidi, NT News.
And moving on now, the federal government, through its social investment program, Trader Money, has commenced disbursement of loans to small and medium-scale business owners in Gombe State. Fathia Awal Abba completes the story.
The scheme, which registered about 40,000 petty traders operators in Gombe State, is aimed at empowering 2 million small business operators across the 36th state of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, before the end of the year.
I wish these traders will utilize what they have. I'm a living witness because I have a business I started with just 5,000 naira, and as it is today, that business is worth more than 300,000 naira.
Some of the beneficiaries of the scheme, including the chairman Gombe State Traders Association, expressed delight over the program and pledged to make good use of the loan for the development of their business.
I have to very appreciate them for what they are doing, because it's very, very good for the government to give the less privileged the money to start up their business.
I'm here to make inquiry about the payment, but still the queue is too much, so I have to wait now.
Each beneficiary of the scheme would receive a minimum loan of 10,000 naira. In Gombe, I am Fatia Awal Abba, NTA News.
And more organizations are employing the services of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, to conduct promotion examinations for their staff in line with the federal government's fairness, transparency and accountability drive. Olainka Ojo reports.
The new standard set by JAMB in recent time has made both government and private establishments to seek the services of the board to conduct examinations for their staff. The latest is the Corporate Affairs Commission, whose 760 staff seeking promotion in all cadres from the 36 states and the FCT sat for JAMB-conducted examination, thereby reducing costs that would have been incurred by the agency. JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oloyede explains the modalities employed for the conduct of the examination for various agencies.
Anybody who wants to conduct a public examination and is not looking for wuru to do somewhere, JAMB is the right place to go.
When a client comes, we sit down and take the brief, and the brief determines how we respond.
The fact that the staff are seeking promotion for the next post made them to be referred to as candidates.
There's quite transparency in this one.
Credible mode of assessing people's performance.
The staff were further amazed with the release of their scores on their phones barely an hour after the exercise. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
And talking sports now, semi-finalists emerge at the ongoing NCC Tennis National League as Kamak Basketball Club of Bayelsa emerged champions of the 2018 National Division II League in Lagos. Give George has this on more on our sports update. And that does it on Panorama. Thank you for your time. I am Ogwa Vivian Onyedibia.